So in this video, I'll be showing you how to make a simple crochet romper for a 3-month-old baby. I'm using this Bernard Softy Baby yarn. It's very soft. I absolutely love it. It's a DK size 3. I'll leave the link in my description, and you can get it on Amazon through my affiliate link. You need a tape measure, your stitch markers, a pair of scissors, and I'm using a hook size 3.5 and 2.5 millimeters. You also need your yarn needle for weaving in your ends. So this yarn is DK and it requires a 4 millimeter hook size, but I'll be using a 3.5 millimeter hook size. So to start, I'll make a slip knot, and this is the start of the romper. We are starting from the waist, and I'm going to chain up to 15 inches for a 3-month-old size, and this is about a baby who weighs 4.5 to 5.5 kilograms. So no matter the hook size or yarn size you're using, you just chain 15 inches. So you make sure that your foundation chain is turned right, there are no twists in them, and you are going to slip stitch into the first chain. I like to slip stitch to the back of the chain. As you can see, the front has the V and the back has 3 lines. So I'm going to slip stitch into the back of the chain, my first chain, to start off. I like it because it gives the finished work a good look, and you have a good foundation stitch to crochet into. So you make your slip stitch, chain 2. I like to start my work with a chain 2, and you make a double crochet into the same stitch as your chain 2. So the chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. Now make sure to mark your first double crochet so that when you get to the end, you don't miss it, and slip stitch into the chain 2. Now I'm going to make 1 double crochet into each stitch all around till I get to the end. So double crochet to the back, now I'm at the end of my first row, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet, not into the chain 2, to the top of the first double crochet. I'll chain 2 to start off again, and over here we are going to do post stitch. So we'll do a front post double crochet, mark the first front post double crochet, then we'll do a back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. So that's the pattern that I'm going to do for the second row. It's going to be the waist of the romper. Beginning to look like. You're going to slip stitch into the top of the first post stitch and not the chain 2. Remember not to do a post stitch around the chain 2. So slip stitch into the top of the first post stitch, and then chain 2 to start the third row. For the third row, I'm going to be making another front post, back post. So wherever you previously did a front post, you do a front post. Where there's a back post, you do a back post. So front post here, we do a front post, and then back post here, I do a back post. Front post, back post. This makes the waist easily stretchable, and it's also a very nice design for the waist. So continue with this pattern till the end of row 3. So I'm at the end of row 3, and this is how our waist looks. This is the band for the romper, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first post stitch. I'm going to chain 2. For row 4, I'm going to do 1 double crochet all around. One double crochet into the first stitch, insert my stitch marker, 1 double crochet into the next, 1 double crochet into the next, and till the end of the row. So this is the end of row 4. And I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet, not the chain 2 once again. You need to remember that, otherwise you get more stitches than you need. So chain 2 to start off, double crochet into the same stitch as the chain 2 space. I'm going to make 1 double crochet all around, and we are going to do this till we get to a measurement of 6 inches for the shorts. So this is going to be from waist to crotch. So you're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet, chain 2 to start, double crochet into the same stitch as a chain 2 space, mark your first double crochet, and then we are going to do double crochet all around for as many rows as it takes for you to get to a measurement of 6 inches. So I'll meet you at the end of the 6 inches. So here we have it. We are now going to start with the thighs of our romper, the leg section. So you're going to count the number of stitches you have all around. So I have 76 stitches in all. Your number of stitches may differ depending on the hook and yarn size that you use, so make sure to count. Now we are going to divide that number into 2 for each leg. So I'm going to have 38 stitches per leg. In the case where you have an odd number, still make sure that you have the equal number of stitches for each leg, and then you leave the extra stitch to sew in when you're finishing off your shorts. So I'm going to mark my stitch. To start off, I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to make 1 double crochet all around till I get to the second stitch marker. So at the stitch marker, you make your last double crochet into the stitch and take out your stitch marker. And we are going to join the two ends. I'm going to chain 2 and then slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. Chain 2 to start. Always start your rows with a chain 2 and then double crochet into the same stitch as it in the chain 2 space. Use your stitch marker to mark your first stitch and then do 1 double crochet all around. You're now making the legs of the romper. So I'm at the chain 2 space that I did. I'm going to make 1 double crochet into each chain, just so this gives enough room for the thighs so that it's not too tight. And then slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. So there you have it. Our legs are coming out nicely. So we are going to continue doing this until we get to a measurement of 2.5 inches. So we are going to repeat the second row for the legs so we get to 2.5 inches, and then we do the edge finishing. So mine measures 2.5 inches now. I'm going to do the edging. Chain 2, we are going to do a front post, back post at the edge of the legs as well. You do not do a post around the chain 2, be mindful of that. So you're going to do front post, double crochet, back post, double crochet. Front post, double crochet, back post, double crochet. So I'm at the end of my last row and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first post, not the chain 2. Slip stitch, chain 1 and cut off your yarn. Cut it long enough so that it will make weaving in your ends very easy. So you turn your work to the other leg, insert your hook to the next stitch, grab your yarn, make a knot, insert your hook into that stitch, chain 2 to start your other leg. So double crochet into the same stitch space as the chain 2 space. You make 1 double crochet all around. You're going to repeat the same thing that we did for the first leg. Going to do the same thing here. So I'm at my last stitch. Remember that if you had an odd number, you likely be left with 2, but you make 1 double crochet into only 1 and you leave the other extra stitch. So you chain 2 here as well, just as we did for the other leg, and you slip stitch into the top of the double crochet, not the chain 2 space. So this is how our romper is beginning to look. We're going to do the same pattern, 1 double crochet all around till we get to 2.5 inches, and then we'll do the front post, back post edging. The bottom part of our romper is now ready. We are going to sew the crotch area. So this is the crotch area. We are going to sew it together so that we have a complete shorts. We'll turn our work wrong side out. Use our yarn needle and then close the opening. So now we turn our work right side out. All done. Now we are going to make the top parts. You put your work together like this so that you can mark the corners of your shorts. So this for the front part of the romper. Mark the corners of your shorts. And now we are going to measure 1 inch from each end of the corner and mark it with our stitch marker. So that's going to be the top part of the romper. Okay. And then you count your stitches to make sure that each 1 inch has the same number of stitches. So if it doesn't, you make sure that you add up to make them equal. You remove the stitch markers from the corners, and we are going to start with the top part of our romper. You start with the stitch with the stitch marker, insert your hook, grab your yarn, make a knot, and again we are going to start with a chain 2. Going to make 1 double crochet in the same space as the chain 2 space. So the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So you mark your first double crochet as your first stitch. And then I'm going to make 1 double crochet all across till we get to the other stitch marker. So I'm at the end. Remove your stitch marker and then make your last double crochet into the last stitch. Chain 2, turn your work, double crochet into the same stitch as the chain 2 space, and now our pattern here is the same front post, back post. So yarn over, go behind the double crochet, make your double crochet, front post double crochet, yarn over, go to the front, make your back post double crochet. So front post, back post, front post, back post. You're going to do this all till the end. So I'm at the end of the row, which is row 2, and I'm going to make a double crochet into the last double crochet. So the last stitch is not a post stitch, it's a regular double crochet. So double crochet into that last stitch, chain 2 and turn your work. I'm going to make a double crochet into the same stitch as the chain 2. To the beginning and end of each row, you're going to make a double crochet and not a post double crochet. Now this is the pattern. Everywhere you see a front post, you're going to make a front post, and everywhere you see a back post, you're going to make a back post. So front post, back post, front post, back post. So our first post is a front post. We are going to make a front post double crochet, then a back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. So you will not alternate, you just continue. Wherever there's a front post, you do a front post. Where there's a back post, you do a back post. You're going to repeat this pattern till we get to the end. At the end, double crochet into our first double crochet. So this is going to be the repeat pattern. Always chain 2, turn your work, make a double crochet into the first double crochet. So you just repeat your last stitch, but always chain 2 to turn. So over here, our first stitch is a front post. We continue, yarn over, do a front post double crochet, then a back post double crochet. So you're just going to repeat the previous row till you get a measurement of 5 inches. And here I have my 5 inches done. I'm done with the top of my romper. You can see the pattern showing nicely. Now I'm going to switch to a smaller hook size. So I was previously using a 3.5mm. I'm now going to use a 2.5mm to do my edge, and I'm going to chain 1 from the corner that I ended. and then do 1 single crochet into each chain all around. But for the sides, because they are double crochets, I'm going to skip 1 stitch. So I'll do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, skip 1 stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next. Skip 1 stitch, then 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Skip 1 stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch. This is for the sides. To skip 1 single crochet into the next stitch to finish off the sides nicely. Now my sides are done. As you can see, it's very straight. Now we are going to do 1 single crochet into the waist as well, into each stitch. We are not skipping any stitches here. Each stitch in the waist. So I've finished doing my single crochets all around on the sides and on the waist. We are now going to do our straps for the romper. I'm going to switch back to the bigger hook. You don't cut off your yarn here, you continue from where you finished off your single crochets. You're going to chain 2 and make 1 double crochet into the next 5 stitches for your straps. I like to hide my yarn under the stitches, so the tails of my yarn. So you chain 2 and turn your work and continue the same pattern, 5 double crochets. Always chain 2 and turn. So I'm going to continue like this till we get a strap length of 10 inches. So I'm on my last stitch. That's 10 inches. So we are going to do the other strap. You count 5 stitches from the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert your hook. Grab your yarn. Make a knot. Chain 2. Make 1 double crochet into the same chain 2 space. Remember, the chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. And then you're going to continue the same pattern as we did for the first strap. Chain 2 and turn. So same pattern as the other strap. Our straps are done now. Now we are going to sew in our decorative buttons. You can use the color of your choice to match the color of your yarn. I'm using these off-white buttons I got from Amazon. I'll leave the link in my description if you want to get it as well. It's my affiliate link. Now we are going to sew in the buttons for the straps at the back. You can use the same color of buttons. I'm choosing to use something different, blue, to match the yarn color. So you make sure that you are crossing your straps to make sure that they will be at the right place once you fix your buttons. So you fix your buttons nicely at the back. So our 3-month-old romper is now ready, and you can use this for a baby photography shoot or as a gift, or if you want to sell it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video